Me passa.
Hey yo. Me so on call to my car so on call.
And me high uncle son hospital. A brand new technology about. And it be a baby. What's up with the key? That one technology about one thing. So maybe the doctor.
Yes. With DocPem, you can meet your physician online via a video call for medical advice. With DocPem, you can chat via text, vocal, and even send images to your specialist in order to get medical advice. With DocPem, you can get advice from the best specialists from anywhere in the world in seconds. Go to your Play Store or your App Store and download your DocPem today.
DocPem convenience. Wow, boom,
DocPam de Fufrabo, DocPam. Yes, yet the opportunities for Fraba will be to me health professional at Chatia. Doctor in your palm. JA apps from Kwa, and more Quenya. No, doctor chatting with phone or so. Be some of Pomodin one seminar. Abra, Untiashe. Would the answer be downloading DocPam and will phone or so. Download DocPam for free. We saw no one chatting with a doctor for free. Google Play Store and App Store. Ne download the DocPam. DocPam. Apomodin ne down sem no. Kayo and shake a crown.
And now on Radio Culture, GH #1 Reggae Dancehall online radio. Are you ready to hear this? Yeah, this is Fred Dread. Kente word, sound, and power. Constantly in tune with Radio Culture Ghana. Click on the link and link.
Welcome to High Touch Event Center. Planning a wedding, birthday party, corporate event, or just looking for a place to relax? We got you. We got free airport pickups for clients arriving from overseas. Our rooms are standard with all the amenities you need. Our compound can hold up to 1,500 people, and our VIP section lives up to its name. It's truly exclusive. We are located in a serene environment of the Amasaman Kaswa Road. Ask for Adade Last Stop. For bookings and inquiries, call us +233 554 065 852. We are on social media. High Touch Event Center, always a fun place.
Hit Web Radio.
Culture.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yvonne Chaka, and I'm so proud to be Goodwill Ambassador of the Pan-African Heritage World Museum. It is time for the world to learn from the missing pages of Africa's history, art, culture, and indigenous knowledge. Join Africa to exhibit and curate her rich herbal plant farms, her historic places of African kingdoms, her beautifully sculptured park of heroes and heroines, Pan-Africa's hidden innovators and inventors, all in one 10-acre space of the Pan-African Heritage City in Ghana, Winneba Junction, 45 kilometers west of Accra. Visit our website. Let's together build a new humanity through walls of the Pan-African Heritage World Museum.
I say, Heritage Radio Culture, your #1 internet radio station. Me say, badding, up to the time.
Mama Africa, me love you. Yeah. Ghana, we need you. Yeah. Well, I'm Yasa Safari, the cryptic warrior, live from Jamaica, representing for Radio Culture, GH Reggae Dancehall, the very best of the best, no gaites.
I, Lioness Africa, declare I am the true owner of the following works and give one-time permission to Radio Culture to use these works for promotional and future use only. The works to be featured are as follows: Cry Revolution, Lifted, Rolling, Singles Mingle, Lioness Courage, and Woman Bless Up. Did you ever see your beloved walking without crawling? Without crawling, yeah. Did you ever see your beloved reaping without sowing? Without sowing, yeah. In his life, he has observed where he belongs, where he is thrown, without doing wrong. Yes, this is Lioness Africa, and I'm standing in for Selector Jah Beloved right here on Radio Culture. Don't touch that dial.
1 2 1 2 Radio Culture.
Have you ever seen a baby walking?
Yes, it's that time right now. Are you ready?
Without crawling.
I know Lioness Africa is ready right now, but are you ready?
Without sowing. Without sowing.
Kenyan songbird domiciled in Sweden right now via Italy, exporting the Kenyan brand of reggae music worldwide.
Without doing wrong.
Versatile female artist. I love this woman. Hey, she makes us look good. Africa.
Your time is gone. So,
and I particularly like this song. She calls this one Lifted.
Live and learn. Live and learn.
It's my favorite of all her tracks. Lifted.
Live and learn. Live and learn. Live and...
Are you ready to hear the voice of the one woman called Lioness Africa?
Soon you will be lifted. Lifted. 'Cause you are...
Stick and stay, because in a quick minute we'll be crossing over to Sweden and we will be talking to Lioness Africa. Have you ever seen a baby walking without crawling? Have you ever seen a flower budding? Have you ever seen a baby talking without bubbling? Lyrical dexterity. Hey, watch a man.
Don't let the pressures of this world bring you.
This woman can't sing.
Force you to make a change. No.
Are you ready for Lioness Africa? Are you ready, people?
Success, a possibility.
If you're listening on modernghana.com, go on our social media page and drop a like. If you're listening on GH News Now, do the same. If you're listening on any of the other platforms, do the same. If you're using the app, do the same. If you're listening from Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, wherever you're listening from, outside of Africa too. We are reaching you, Radio Culture, Studio 1 in Texas, USA. All right. Let's go on right now and go speak to the one and only Lioness Africa. Blessed love, Lioness Africa. Blessed love.
Blessed. Radio Culture, Selector Jah Beloved. Thank you so much for the introduction. Wicked.
Thank you. And thank you for making time to speak with us on Radio Culture. We deeply appreciate that.
Yeah, give thanks also for the platform, man.
Every time. So, what's the weather like where you are right now? You're in Sweden, Stockholm, I believe.
Yes, the weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stockholm weather is unpredictable always, but we thank God. Today we have a sunny day.
Nice.
And, sometimes we have, showers of rain here and there, but, it's a cool place to be. You breathe in, fresh air every time. Stockholm City is full of trees, so, the fresh air you breathe is, just out of out of that. It's like heaven-like.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Lioness, let
Yes,
us dig deep. You are a famous Kenyan export. But
Yeah, man.
for those who do not know you yet,
Yeah, man.
who is Lioness Afrika? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, yeah, LIONESS AFREEKA is a songwriter, singer, performer, and a musician, you can say, and a lot of reggae stuff that I do. And I've been living in Italy for 14 years now. I'm in Stockholm City for the last 3 years, going to 4 years. And I started my journey way back home from Kenya. So from 1999, I started my journey. So I have a lot of years in the music business, collaborating with bands all along. And that's the experience I've got. And it has really helped me to be a songwriter and understanding also my stage performance, how it's supposed to be.
All right. We'll get more details of those things as we go along in this interview, hopefully. But let's kick back a little bit. You were born in Mombasa, Kenya.
Yes.
And then along the line, you migrated to Nairobi, where you joined a big band called Big Matata. Tell us about that experience.
Well, the experience was when I migrated to Nairobi from Mombasa. It was not about music. It was about basically a relationship that I had with my husband at the moment. And at that time, I started as a dancer. I danced like 6 years. I did dance like 6 years before. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. I can hear you very well.
Yeah, so when I moved, I started dancing like 6 years before I came into singing. And when I moved to Nairobi, I was still a dancer by then. And then, my husband was already in the Big Matata band. And when they needed a singer for a trip in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, they needed a female singer. That's when I got into singing. Yeah. Though all along singing was in my mind. I used to go and practice with some bands, trying here and there. And that was the first chance that I got. It was a big challenge for me to go outside the country and started singing professionally with a band.
Yeah, because I'm amazed that it's almost by accident if you check it out.
Yeah.
How didn't you start singing right away? You have such a beautiful voice. You didn't realize that from before?
Like I said, I had a lot of challenges when I started singing, and luckily it is a good thing because I entered in live performance first, not recording as a recording artist. So I gained experience in the live performance, but I got hiccups here and there at my first performances. I sang off key. I could not sing on beat.
You've been through that, really?
Yeah, I got very angry.
It's hard to believe. Listening to your music right now, it's very hard to believe that.
I swear, it happened. I used to cry, why I'm not getting it? Why am I singing off key, And, some advices from the members of the band, just listen to the chords, don't get over excited, emotional.
Yeah.
So I gathered myself and I started, performing, as a pro now, and it really helped me, later in recording my songs, because I had all that experience, listening to the keys, knowing the beats, how it goes, harmonies, you learn a lot of things as you go by.
So this band, the Big Matata, it was a reggae band. It was an all-out reggae band, or it played different types of music too.
Well, the genre is reggae, but in the performances, club performances, they used to do all genres, from soca, from afro, from reggae music, soul, everything. They mixed everything. And Big Matata also was the band that backed up a lot of Kenyan artists, locally and internationally, when they went out on tour. And also it backed the late Gregory Isaac on his tour in Kenya.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow, that's massive. So when? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I think you're still saying something.
Yeah, I said it was a really breakthrough, and people in Kenya at that time, when they came out on newspaper, frontline, people thought it is a Jamaican band. But, they came to know it's a Kenyan band, the way they play, professional reggae, they were very tight and, blessed,
Yeah, wow, interesting. So when and why did you leave Big Matata?
Well, I did not leave Big Matata. Big Matata is still there, though we're not performing right now. But Big Matata is still there. We traveled together to Italy in 2006 for a tour. For a tour. And we did our tour at summertime in Italy around 2 months. And after that, we decided, okay, we're going to remain behind and start life in Europe.
The whole band.
When challenges. Yeah, the whole band. Yeah, challenges. We separated a while. We have our bass player in Greece. I'm here with Henry, who's part of the band, and we are continuing. Me and Henry will continue to do live music still. And we have 3 members in Kenya. Those who went back to Kenya. But in the future they're organizing to come back together. Maybe in Kenya one time. Yeah.
I hate when bands break up. I swear I do. I don't like when bands break up, man. It breaks my heart.
I cannot call it a breakup. No, I cannot call it a breakup. It's circumstances.
Okay.
That, for now.
Temporary. It's a temporary, disengagement of sorts.
Yeah, and the good thing, everybody where they are, they're still doing music.
Nice. So hopefully not too long from now we'll hear a big banger from Big Matata.
Exactly. They're talking about it like every week they get together and talk about plans,
I love that because like I said, I don't like when, groups, especially when they are so functional and so well coordinated, start being like, but things happen also. So did Big Matata have any recorded works?
Yeah, they have recorded works. They have Fish and Chips. There's an album called Fish and Chips. They did while in Kenya, which was supported by their manager, Mr. Teddy Kalanda, who is from the Mushrooms, a very big, popular group in Kenya. And of course, they are also the sons of the Mushrooms, so it's a musical family thing. And they have that Fish and Chips record.
I see. All right. Now, in 2004. You released your first album called Tuliza Boli.
Yeah.
Tuliza Boli. And this was in Kenya, right?
That was in Kenya, yes.
And you released it as a solo artist away from the band?
Yes, it was a solo artist project.
Okay, so the band has an arrangement like that?
Supported by the same manager, Teddy Kalanda, of the Mushrooms.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is the band has an arrangement where you can still being part of the band, still step aside and do your own project. Other people have done that within the band, or it's just you who did that?
No, it was only me who did that. And right now, there's one of the members now also is releasing a project solo in Kenya. So it's we're supporting each other that way. And the Tuliza Boli was a kind of Afro-fusion thing. So it never disturbed, the Big Matata arrangements in the reggae, reggae thing, because this Big Matata is a reggae band.
I see.
So it never interfered with any plans of their own, and they supported it. In fact, in the video, they're there. My Tuliza Boli video, they're there, and
I love that.
It's a one love thing,
I love that. I love that. That shows maturity, because back home in Ghana, I've seen bands break up because of things like this, Whereas there's an overflow of talent. So sometimes outside of the band, people still want to express themselves, and I think that you guys did very well and showed a lot of maturity by not making that be a problem, but actually stepping out and supporting. That's beautiful. But tell us about Tuliza Boli. Sorry, go ahead. You were saying something first.
Tuliza Boli is a Swahili title. Tuliza Boli. That means like ball is like a ball, normal ball, and Tuliza is like come down. So it's a message. There's a deep message inside there. The song talks about relationships when you have more than one girlfriend or more than one boyfriend at the same time. And if one falls down, one falls down, or one becomes sick, then all of you become sick. So it was a big message inside there.
I see.
And at that time, we had the AIDS awareness, campaigns like all over the world. So it was something very massive, and I had a lot of breakthrough with that song because people were relating it to the AIDS awareness campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So now in 2006, that's when you traveled to Italy, right? You've told us a bit about that.
Yeah.
But what I want to know at this point is, before you did that, what was the music like? Was music something that you earned your living with, or you had like a main job and music was like a side hustle?
Well, no, in Kenya that was our job. In Kenya, music was our job. We sleep, we eat music, every day. We used to have performances like, every day, the whole year. And the goodness in Kenya or maybe African countries, you get, contracts in hotels, and they give you maybe a 1-year contract. Maybe they give you a Tuesday and a Thursday. You'll be here Tuesdays and Thursdays for the whole year, or another place on Mondays the whole year, so it's continuous. It's a continuous job for you,
Nice.
It's a continuous job for you. So when we came, the adjustment was too big for us. And before I left Kenya, I was, like I told you, the Tuliza Poly gave me a lot of fame in Kenya. That's where I got known, and whenever I walk the streets, people, call out my name. They come and greet me, from children, from big people, and then we had to do that step to come to Europe, and we decided to relocate. Then, we had to, we had a big adjustment. You know how Europe is. It's very difficult.
It's different.
To just enter and just make it in music. So we had to come down. We went down again, and then started building ourselves, then up again,
I see.
Yeah.
Let's kick back a little, even more. Let's kick back. Let's kick all the way back. Because growing up as a young girl, you used to sing in church, right? And then you also was adjudged the best soloist in 1991 for some type of contest. Tell us about that.
Well, in church, I used to be in the choir. I was a frequent church goer. And we sang a lot of church music. The composers were there. You start learning a few things, about like I said, it's a process. It's a process. And then when I went to high school, I really wanted, the primary school I was in, there was no, such activities like, singing in like traditional dances, those categories. But when I went to secondary, I got that opportunity, and I became the soloist. The first year I just joined the high school. The teacher saw the potential, the musical teacher, and gave me that, that opportunity to be a soloist in that group. And I also became a choreographer of the dancing group there in school, and I took them to the national levels, and that's when I got the second best soloist award.
I see. What it was like a kind of festival that was held for young people.
Well, that is a school. It's a school festival thing.
Okay, with different schools representing.
Different schools representing. You represent your area. You're chosen. You come. You go to the next contest until you get the national. National now is the whole country.
I see.
Yeah.
Lioness, do you come from a musical family? Does anybody in your family do music? Is anybody noted for music in your family?
Well, not very noted, but my late dad was a guitarist and a singer. So when he used to play the guitar, I used to sit by him, and listen to him, the beautiful, traditional melodies, my tribal melodies, and it really got into me since I was a child, So that's how I got into, loving music since I was a baby.
I see. Why did you choose reggae though? Was it just because you joined Big Matata, which was traditionally a reggae band, or as you've said, you did something else? The Tuliza Boli was not necessarily reggae, right? But you reggae seemed to be your first love. Am I right?
Yeah, it was not. I'm all over. I'm a very open, artist. So when I did the Tuliza Boli, that was an Afro fusion thing. And I've been doing a lot of also Afro fusion before, I came into reggae. So let me say, the reggae thing, I was introduced one rhythm, I featured in one rhythm, and it blew up. It just blew up, and I got a lot of people requesting, I have this rhythm, please can you just voice it, can you voice it, and now I'm just into reggae. I'm like, I really loved reggae since, not but I never thought myself in singing reggae. And when I did the first rhythm, it just blew up, and the reception was just lovely from everybody. Rhythms started coming in from Malawi, South Africa, everywhere, and that's how reggae is just here with me now to stay.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So with when it comes to other genres, though, you still have a serious dexterity, and I want our listeners to have a feel of that. We will be right back with Lioness Afrika, but in the meantime, let's check this one she calls "This Is Africa." Check this out.
Yeah.
This is Africa, in a foreign land, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is Africa, in a foreign land, oh yeah, oh yeah. Once you said part of motherland, things are so clear and so clear. Never want to feel low. We don't care about the snow as long as we can love. Let's party now. 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 This is Africa. This is Africa. In a foreign land, oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is Africa. In a foreign land, oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got nothing but love. No fuss and fight in a foreign land. Mama don't wanna you mess around. Get in your dancing shoes. Get the booze, go away.
All right, Lioness Afrika with "This Is Africa." Beautiful track there. And as you know, this song shows her versatility, you know. This is not your traditional reggae song. This reminds me more of the East African, dancey type of music there. Wonderful. Yes. All right.
That's from the album Amkoba, and I dedicated the title to my late father because he used to call me Amkoba. It's like a nickname in my tribe.
I see.
And that's how it came about.
What does it mean? What does the nickname mean?
Amkoba is like a handbag. Amkoba is like I was his handbag.
Oh, how sweet! Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Lioness, let's talk about your stint in Italy. What was Italy like for you musically?
Well, it was, like I said, it was a big challenge at the beginning to convince the people that, we are doing this music. We are doing music. We are artists. It was a big challenge. But then slowly we got to record like 2 tracks with one producer. And it really gave us, a name around Italy where we were. We lived in the southern part of Italy. And there was a lot of reggae artists coming, in from Jamaica. And we got opportunity also to cut and raise for Gentleman from Germany and Michael Rose.
Yep.
And General Levi. So, but it took time. It took us like 3 years to get in line. And that's when then we started to form another band to perform. And we started to do some gigs here and there, convincing people, just living the passion and living the music one day at a time. And, trusting the process. But it's never been easy. And they have a lot of, the love of reggae music is very high in the southern part of Italy. Very, very high. Yeah.
I see. So, but you said you formed another band?
Yes, we did. Me and my husband, we had to, find a way to get the live performance gigs, So we joined 3 Italians, and it became more easier, with the
locals, yeah.
With the locals there, it became easier to maneuver, Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
yes, absolutely.
Like I said, we had challenges. We tried, me and my husband, but it was not ringing in anybody's minds or head,
Until you connected with the locals. I can totally connect with that. So what was happening with Big Matata at this time? It was you're playing in 2 bands essentially.
Yeah, Big Matata already won the best player was in Greece. And he visited us. He came once in Italy, and we did some gigs with him, and he went back to Greece. After some time, people, begin to have their lives,
Exactly, so, family and all of that.
Yeah, so family and that. So people have to focus also on that area.
Yeah.
And like me also, when I came from Kenya, I was already pregnant, so I carried my baby in my stomach, and I gave birth in Italy, and I gave birth again, the following year. It was a little bit.
It must have been hectic. Were you performing while you were pregnant?
Yes, I was.
Wow, you are not easy. You are not easy.
It's a lioness thing, man.
You don't know. You don't know that. Yes, with the African spirit too. Nah, joke.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, man.
So you did mention that you toured with Gentleman, with General Levy, with Michael Rose.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. You've told us about that already, but what was the experience like with the Jamaican artist?
It was nice. Everything was just perfect and nice. We, it gave us an opening, and we started to believe that it can happen. Things can happen here. Yeah, because it's like you didn't see the lights, But when we were walking around and seeing the posters, like, we see Luciano is coming, and we're like, there's music here, there is life here, there's music here, but we didn't have connections, we didn't know nobody about music. But then, like I said, when we started talking about music, we called the Italian friends sometimes, and then we started to show them, some video clips of us, and one started, okay, I know this producer who doesn't live far from here, maybe I'll talk to him about you guys, okay? So then we recorded those 2 tracks, then we got those platforms through this producer, and then we started believing and seeing, Gentleman, he's not an easy performer, he's a hard performer, he does things, 100%, even more than 100%, and we said, yes, this is it, we see the light, and we shall continue until we get it right again.
Inspiration. How did you get those gigs though? Because like you said, you were already having a hard time getting local gigs. How did you jump on an international gig like that?
Like I said, it's the producer that we recorded the 2 tracks that gave us the platform. He built a band, and this band performed for all the artists that recorded with him. And this one gave us, and then as we appear as, black people on stage with reggae music, performing, it gives a very strong sense.
It makes it more legit.
Yeah, it makes it more legit. And then we started to have openings here and there,
Yeah. All right. Okay. So apart from this, you also performed with some African acts, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that too. This was before you left for Italy, or you performed with these African acts outside of Africa?
This one was while I'm here in Europe. I've been to Greece performing, I've been to Germany performing, I've been to Switzerland performing, and I've categorized for this, like back home, they are very major artists back home. I'm talking about Nameless, and I'm talking about Nyashiski. I'm talking about, there's a lady called Amani now, she's doing gospel. And I'm talking about the famous Diamond Platnumz. His first tour, we did open for him. When he had only, I think, like 5 songs, and he repeated all those 5 songs the same night. Like just to keep the people going. And before he became this famous right now, So
I see. So these were tours outside of Africa.
Yeah, this is outside of Africa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So I'm very curious about how reggae music is so big in Kenya. We'll get to that in a second. But if you're really talking about African reggae music, I think Kenya is up there. And I want to find out why from you in a second. We'll find that out in a second. We won't not. Let's hold that. You know, I want my listeners to stay. I don't want to give them all the good meat right now and then. I definitely want my listeners to stay. Lioness, you have a song called Dry Spell, which is also one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a crucial one.
Yes, Dry Spell. It's a very cryptic song. Tell us about that song, Dry Spell.
Dry spell, you know, this dry spell is like the meaning. Let me talk about the meaning.
Yes.
Is like when you stay, you know, long without, you know, having any,
affection, intimate affection.
Affection, you know, affection. And this one came around about when the pandemic happened and these lockdowns and. Maybe your man is locked down in another place,
another side of town.
There's no connection, and it came like a saying in Kenya: "Dry spell. I have dry spell. I have dry spell. Oh, dry spell, dry spell." And me myself, I was caught in that same situation during the pandemic in Italy. You remember it? It was really bad in Italy. Yeah.
Oh God.
It was really bad. And my man at that time, he was already in Sweden. So that's how the song came up about. And
so that's a personal experience in there.
Yeah, so people sometimes when they see the title, they get very shocked. You know, like, oh my God, dry spell. Why dry spell? I listen to the song, man. I mean, it's a reality. You know, if you can listen to Jamaican music where they talk about, you know, things directly, why can't you listen to dry spell? It's just, it's poetry. It's affection. It's poetry inside.
Of course, you know? It's a beautiful song, and it's personal experience, which makes it a bit more beautiful. You know. It's not one of those songs where you are telling somebody else's experience. You're telling your own personal experience, which a lot of other people can still relate to, you know, because I'm sure you're not the only one who was having a dry spell or who is still having a dry spell.
People are having it.
I'm sure people are still having dry spells today, in spite of the fact that the pandemic is over, right? All right. Let us check out Dry Spell. We'll be right back.
LIONESS AFREEKA on a dry spell thing, you know. Oh, how I love to see the sun rise again. My heart, my body, my whole life was green. A time green egg. I can explode now. My feelings are too much. The river is running dry. The car needs some oil. Dry spell. Taking over me. Dry spell. Taking over me. Dry spell. Taking over me now. Dry spell. Taking over me. Everything that experience you always left me in a deep. Just let me tell you how I feel. I don't care about nobody else but you, boy. Dry spell.
Dry Spell, Sons of Lioness Afrika.
Dry spell. Taking over me now.
Like I said, I love this track. I love that song, Lifted, though. I really, really, really love Lifted. It touches some nerve in my soul. But I do like this one, too.
That song has given me a challenge myself, you know.
You mean Lifted, right?
Yeah, it has given me a big challenge, man.
It's a very deep philosophical song.
I have to come up with something heavier than that one, you know.
Yes, yes. It's set a bar. It's set a very high bar for you. I'm telling you that. It has set a very, very high bar for you because you cannot underdo yourself right now, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've talked about Dry Spell. Let's talk about Lifted. What
were lifted.
was going through your mind when you wrote that song? It's such a beautiful and philosophical song.
Lifted because, I take myself as a mentor too, I talk to a lot of young upcoming artists, and I see their hunger and anger, in things. They want things to happen very quickly, Yeah. And this journey, if we dig about a lot of successful groups, both home and abroad, they have a story behind it, If we take time, because I have taken time to dig up a lot of, not Jamaican, also, African, the legends, how they passed through. They have a story to tell. They have a story to tell. They have passed through a lot of challenges. But our young artists now, they want to reach the top without working, towards the top, which is very difficult, And I've had a lot of conversations. Sometimes if you advise somebody this way, they think that maybe you're jealous about what they're doing, or maybe you're bringing them down, But no, we are talking the truth here. Facts is it's a process, It's a process. One day at a time. You have to be digging. You cannot take out one song, two songs, and you want to go ask for $10,000. Who can give it? Who knows you? Nobody knows you, man. No, nobody knows you. Sometimes we have done platforms for free for so long. Less money. Because we understand our work, what we want to do.
Yes. I want you to repeat that. I want you to repeat that for the up and coming generation of artists, especially some of my brethren in Ghana. You have to build your brand before you expect to reap the fruit from that, don't you?
You have to build your brand. You have to build your brand. You have to build. And remember, you can also maybe make applications like 1,000, and maybe only one will be responded. You don't have to get angry. Sometimes now we have to build our own platforms. We have to build our own platforms. I organize my own shows sometimes. I'm not looking about money.
Look at that.
I'm not looking about money. I'm just looking about that platform. At least I get the musicians who understand what I'm doing. I can pay them, and I can present myself, and it will build me another step.
Interesting.
So we have to think on those levels. You cannot take out 1, 2, 3 songs and expect you. And when you're given even a mic with the band, you cannot even perform the way it's supposed to perform. You want to come with your playback thing. You don't. It's difficult out here. We have to learn, live and learn.
Interesting.
We have to live and learn.
But what was the songwriting?
Have you ever seen a baby talking without babbling?
No, I haven't.
Or have you seen a baby walking without crawling?
Neither that. Neither that.
You cannot blossom without budding.
That's some deep philosophy.
And appreciate your process. And don't compete with anybody. Don't compete with anybody.
That is some deep philosophy.
Get your stuff done and be out there. If somebody else get that platform, it does not mean you're not good. It doesn't. You have your time. If you focus on God, God will show you where you're supposed to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that
God
is deep.
will show you the direction. If you sit down and listen to God, God will show you the direction.
You know what? Let me drop that song. I think people should hear a bit of it before we continue. This is Lifted by Lioness Africa. And like I said, it's my personal favorite. I'm sure you will love it. Radio.
A baby walking without crawling. Without crawling. Have you ever seen a man reaping without sowing? Without sowing. Soon you will be lifted, lifted, lifted.
Every time the song gets here, I find myself harmonizing. I don't know if my voice is good enough to put the harmony in there, but hey, it's good enough for my own ears. I love this song, and I lie. I do love this song. I love this song. Lioness, what was the songwriting process like for this song? Tell me about it.
Well, that one, I don't know, it came very easy.
I see.
It came very easy because I think it was in the heart. It was waiting just to come out of there, you know. And the timing was just perfect with my songwriting and my feelings at that time. It was completely the right timing. Everything just flew in, like in a second. You know.
I see.
I did, yeah. When I sent it to the producer, I did not. I was not expecting him to give me, that kind of rhythm on it. But it was, I said, yeah, you got it right. You got the feeling right.
Nice. So what's a traditional production process for you? Do you write the song and then you get the band to put in the instrumentation, or is the other way around?
I do the melodies. Yeah, I do the melodies. Mm-hmm. When I write my own songs, apart from when they give me rhythms, that is different. When they send me a rhythm, and, when I like the rhythm, I say, okay, I will work on it. Mm-hmm. But if it's me, I do write the music, I do the melodies, only melodies, and then I just send it as a voice note, and then they work it out. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So speaking of rhythms, you have been on a number of them.
Yeah.
What's the rhythm culture like in Kenya?
I've done a lot of rhythms in Kenya, by the way.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah.
What's the culture like? Is it a very common thing for producers to sing rhythms around?
It's a very, very common thing. Yeah, very, very common thing. They're doing it like every day.
Wow.
They're doing it like every day. But now I think it's slowing down a little bit because we are trying to understand, because even me, I tell them now, before even you send the rhythm, please, you have to understand now it's a digital world, and our music, we don't just want to put it out there just because we want people to hear us. We want also to have that order in our musical royalties, everything. So the producers who are doing it, they have to understand that before even they give out the rhythms out now. So everybody's working. The producers are working on that too. So that our royalties can be out there. We can see what we are doing. It's like a shop. I always tell them our music is like a shop. When you take out your music distribution site is your shop. You put one song that is a product, and maybe one day one product will sell more than the other products.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like a shop. So we have to have respect to that, to the producers, and also back to the artists.
I see. All right. So as you said, there's a lot of them, and you have been on a lot of them. But what are the most famous ones? I know about the White Sands one. I know about what's that one called again? Dance Alela, something like that.
Dance Alela.
Yeah. And then
I think White Sands Rhythm had one crucial song of mine there, which talks about the youths and trying to talk about the political situation in Kenya, and it really has a very hard message inside, and it's doing very well. That song, Cry Revolution, is being played every time on radios, and the people also knew me from that one also more reggae-wise, Mm-hmm. So I think White Sands Rhythm did very good, did very, very good.
I see. So now let me talk about something that is something that I like to ask every artist that I can. Mm-hmm. You know how reggae, certain people want to make it look like if you're not Jamaican and you're playing reggae, it's not, you don't belong, right? You have to play your own country music, so to speak. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I always say originality is the thing, you know, in everything you do. Originality is the thing. You know, you cannot want to be Buju Banton. You cannot want to be
Turbulence.
You cannot want to be Queen Africa, you know. It's impossible. You cannot. So don't imitate something that you are not, you know. You can just write your you can be you on a reggae, you know, on reggae music. And that's what I'm doing, you know.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
It's me.
And personally,
this is LIONESS AFREEKA.
Yes. And personally, if I look at how vibrant reggae music is in a place like Kenya, if I look at the type of artists that Ghana is turning out, Nigeria, South Africa, it's hard for me to align with that thought that if you are not Jamaican, you cannot play reggae. Because check what? Japanese artists are playing reggae music.
Yeah.
So why can't African people play reggae music? When reggae music, according to the originators of reggae, was founded on the foundation of African rhythms, you know, I think that we belong. And I think that is the same way as Jamaican artists can also play Afrobeat, like some of them are doing right now. Who stops you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
African people play Philharmonic Orchestra. Why can't we play reggae music? Anyway.
Yeah, it's just the mentality of you know, reggae music, just to disregard it, you know. But you know, Africans, anybody can play reggae music. Anybody can play reggae music.
I think so.
Yeah, it has its followers, it has its people, you know. So we just have to be open-minded and
original, like you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had our legends like Dube, you know.
Absolutely.
We have Alpha Blondy.
Yes.
Alpha Blondy, you know, he's still doing massive concerts.
Yes.
You know, and filling places.
Yes.
Like I met him twice in Italy.
Interesting.
You know? And I could not imagine the Italian people who are there came for Alpha Blondy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can happen.
Originality is a thing. Originality is a thing. Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Originality is the thing.
Yeah. And if you look at Lucky Dube, as you mentioned, we had was it Michael Rose or somebody like that doing a version of Lucky Dube's music. That means that they respect what is coming out of Africa if it is done right. They do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's serve the meat, which we said we reserved, you know, because we did the reggae scene in Kenya is very vibrant. What do you think is the cause of that? Every Jamaican artist wants to go somewhere in Africa. First up, Kenya. First up, Kenya.
Yeah, because I think first is the event organizers that have, you know, and the media, they've placed it that way, you know. But we are fighting right now for, you know, homegrown Kenyan reggae artists to have those big platforms, you know. You understand, to be treated as well the same, because we have those few talented ones who can represent Kenya as reggae artists, you know. So we are fighting for that. 30th September in Nairobi, Kenya, from Shashamani, you know, International. He's holding a very big concert, and it's only homegrown, you know.
I see.
So from DJs, artists, and it's going to be a big thing, and it's a big platform because Shashamani has been there for, you know, they're celebrating their 39th year anniversary. And you can see it all those years. And this time he's coming for the Kenyan, you know, homegrown. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Things are opening up. People are understanding that, you know, reggae is good music for the people too. It cannot be related only with bad things. No, reggae music is a good music for the people.
I see. So talking of concerts, for instance, right? You can understand that in a place like Ghana, if you bring a Jamaican artist, you are more likely to fill the stadium than if you have a local act. You know, organizers don't necessarily put their money into local acts. Very few of them do, and those who do don't have the big checks. You know, so it's hard to have shows like what you just described in Ghana for just local artists. Even if you want to do something like that, you have to back it up with international artists. What is it like in Kenya? Do sponsors feel comfortable putting their money behind local artists?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same mentality. You know, same. It's like culture. You know, they bring it out like a culture. You have to have one Jamaican artist to fill the stadium so that we can.
The
make
others
money.
could
But
ride
now
on that.
We have to go behind and just see. Okay, it's not about money now. You know, we have to sacrifice. You know, we have to sacrifice 1 or 2 times so that we can make this thing happen. You know, if we don't sacrifice, it will never happen. You know, it will never happen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about live band music versus the other lesser forms, I call them. Does Kenya also have that epidemic of miming artists?
Well, it's there mostly also now with the secular other genres, the Afro pop, blah blah blah, which is very sickening sometimes to see that. No, it's very very sickening sometimes, and you wonder because we see these people also they're being brought abroad and they do that and they're being paid. They take thousands of dollars. You understand? And you leave the talented people who can do this in a live act, and it's very strange thing. I'm telling you, we are fighting. The battle is too big, man. The battle is too big, and that's why we are fighting. Now with the live acts, even in Kenya, they're really fighting to do things in live performances. With a band.
I see. All right. Before we bounce, now let's talk about life in Sweden. Why and when did you move to Sweden?
Well, I did that after the pandemic. Like I told you, after the COVID thing, Italy was struck very hard, and most of the places were not opening. The music scenes, they closed. They did not know when they're opening, and being a family woman, I had to look for another greener pasture, to sustain the family too. So I moved straight away to Sweden, and I was not afraid to start all over again. But I'm here now.
Interesting. I had an interview with a Ghanaian reggae artist based in Sweden a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me, Quantabisa, I'll definitely link you up with him. I'll actually link you up with about 3 different Ghanaian artists that are in Sweden over there.
Nice.
But Quantabisa was telling me that it's kind of hard for reggae artists in Sweden. It's not a mainstream genre like that. Is that the case?
Of course, it is. Of course, it is. It is a hard. I think reggae everywhere is not being given that those platforms and that respect that should be given. But I was lucky this year to have to perform at a very big festival right here in Sweden, Stockholm, and it was a very good platform for me, and it opened up a little. Even all the organizers, receiving an email from them and telling them, now we are your fans. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. That is something very special to an artist. Yeah, if it happens. So, like he said, my brother, he's very true. But we shall continue to fight and get those platforms, and we're gonna convince them that we can do it also in different way, in a reggae style, and we can reach the people.
Absolutely.
Because we say like this, but I was also in the recently just finished in July, the biggest reggae festival in Stockholm City. It's called Uppsala Reggae Festival. We saw Pyramid was here, Kabaka. Yeah. We had Yemi Alade here. Even I got a chance to talk to Yemi Alade backstage. So the platform is there. It's just that we need to convince our connectors, so that we can get those connections. Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm gonna give you one African adage, right? Ghanaian proverb, which says, if you pee in one spot, that's where you see foam, right? If you see someone peeing in one spot, that's only when you see foam. If you pee all over the place, pee randomly, you don't see no foam. The moral behind that is that if you keep doing one thing and keep at it and stay focused and consistent, that's when you see results. Empress Lioness Africa, thank you so much. Before we go though, what is the future? What are the projects ahead of you? What is the future like for Lioness Africa?
Well, the future is all about music once again, all about music. Like I said, until we reach, that, the peak, and the peak is always, continuous. That's why we see Masegrife with the years she's still in the music. So we are the music. We shall continue doing the music. We have albums that are coming out. We have songs that are coming out. All we need is just the support from our fans, our people, new fans who are coming in. If they're listening to me right now, follow me, LIONESS AFREEKA right there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Go watch my videos. And, give me a shout out. Send me a message also. Give me some motivation,
Absolutely.
I will be there listening to you. And I always reply to my people,
Nice. And then if one wants to patronize your music, where can we find it?
Well, I'm on Spotify. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Deezer, all the digital platforms. I'm there.
You're on Apple Music?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. LIONESS AFREEKA.
Yeah, man.
I have really enjoyed this interview. I hope you did too. And I can definitely tell you that my listeners did enjoy this interview. Some of them were calling me while the interview was going on. People, listen, man. Let me finish. Let me finish, okay? And then I'll be available to talk to you. But meanwhile, Empress has shown you where you can find her, so you can connect with her directly too. Please repeat that before we go. For your social media followers, where can they find you? Instagram, Facebook, all of that?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. I'm always there dancing.
Do you want to share the handle so people can connect with you directly instead of bothering me in the middle of my interview?
Well, it's LIONESS. It's LIONESS AFREEKA. I call it Africa. If you say Africa, you'll miss it. It's AFREEKA.
AFREEKA.
AFREEKA. AFREEKA. The word free has to be inside.
Yes.
AFREEKA.
Yes. All right. LIONESS, give thanks and praises.
Yes,
we thank you so much for this interview.
Give thanks. Bless up.
Yes, indeed. We're about to bounce. We will be connecting with you once more on another occasion, and whatever happens, please keep us in the loop. Any new tracks, don't hesitate to send it our way, and you can be sure that all your songs are going on our playlist, and we will be doing our very best to promote it. Thank you so much, LIONESS AFREEKA.
Bless up.
Every time, give thanks. Yes, indeed. This has been LIONESS AFREEKA, Kenyan band sung by domiciled in Sweden. My name is Jah Beloved, anointed. I'm out like a light. I'll be back on the half hour to bring you the top 10 GH Reggae Dancehall charts. Till then, blessed love, and we're living with LIONESS AFREEKA. One love.
Have you ever seen a baby walking without crawling, yeah? Have you ever seen a man reaping without sowing, yeah? In this life you have to observe where you belong, where you're strong, without doing wrong. Never admit to a game you play alone. You don't know your time is gone. So leave it alone.
Radio.
Leave it alone. Soon you will be lifted.